Hey there, Latin 2. So at this point, you have hopefully translated the story. Okay? If you haven't, go ahead and do that now. I'll wait. All right, now you're finished. So I'm going to translate it for you, and then I'm going to give you a few more things to work on, and then you will be done. Hopefully you've turned in to me the word study. Hopefully you've turned in to me 32D, as well as 32B and 32C. Okay? So here we are with the story. Okay? Let's see. 3 days ago, some friends were or had been invited by Gaius Cornelius to dinner. For this reason, Aurelia had bought dormice in the Forum. Also, a pig had been bought by Pseudolus. Already the day of the dinner had arrived, or was here. Early in the morning, slaves were sent into the Forum, and there they prepared, or they purchased, gathered, procured, vegetables, bread, chickens, also eggs and apples and many other things had been or were bought. For when a Roman senator invited friends to dinner, the best dinner ought to be prepared. Now the dinner, or already the hour of the dinner was approaching. While food was being cooked in the kitchen, handmaidens were preparing the dining room. A table had been brought into the middle of the dining room, or into the middle dining room by slaves already, three couches had been set or had been placed around the table. The dining room of Cornelius was the most beautiful and the most decorated. On the walls were the most beautiful pictures. In one picture, or in some picture, or in one picture, yes, the dog Cerberus was being dragged out of the kingdom of Pluto. In another, Mercury was leading the dead to Charon. In another, Orpheus was going down into the underworld. Cornelius was ordering slaves to hurry, for it was already the 9th hour. Aurelia, always worried, was violently urging on the handmaidens. Suddenly, a certain handmaiden, or some handmaiden, who was greatly fearing Aurelia, hurrying this way and that, by accident overturned a candelabrum. One of the candelabra, sorry. The candelabrum spilled onto the couch, and immediately the oil was poured out onto, or the oil spilled onto the sheets. These quickly, these quickly caught fire. Aurelia, angry, was scolding the careless handmaiden, but Cornelius quickly extinguished the fire with a cloak. "Cheer up," said Cornelius. "Behold, the fire is already extinguished." Then other handmaidens were called by him. "Syra, Phrygia, bring other sheets. It is necessary to repair everything immediately, or to redo everything immediately. For soon the guests will arrive, or will be here." Everything which Cornelius had ordered was done, or all of Cornelius's orders. All Cornelius's orders, all the orders of Cornelius, pardon me, were done. I forgot you guys are level 2, not level 3. The guests were arriving. Among whom were many clients who had been invited to dinner. the guests were carrying with themselves napkins for when a dinner will have been conficio, conficra, will have been prepared, will have been created, will have been finished. It will be allowed to them to carry food away in their napkins. For a short while, they were standing in the atrium awaiting Cornelius. At last, they were greeted graciously or courteously by Cornelius himself. No one except for Titus Cornelius was absent, the uncle of Marcus. For a short while, they awaited him. Everyone awaited him, but at last, although he had not yet arrived, the guests were led into the dining room with their sandals placed placed down. Their sandals were placed down. Their sandals were taken away by slaves and placed down, or their sandals deposited, like they left their sandals behind, were taken away by slaves. Everyone was reclining on the couches, and they were awaiting dinner. So there you go. There's the story. Much ado about nothing, right? So what I want you to do is do exercise 32A. Go ahead and do that. Send it to me. Whatever tense you're asked a question in, answer in that tense. Whatever voice you're asked in, answer in that voice. That should help you. Then also do 32E. Okay, vegetables had been brought in had been bought in the forum by the slaves. Had been bought means that it's pluperfect. Had been bought means that it's also passive. So I'm not going to make you do this, but I think it's really helpful. Underline had been bought and then parse it. Okay, parse it in English. It is third person, plural, passive, pluperfect, indicative. And that way when you translate it, Holera a servīs in Forō comparata erant. It just becomes a lot easier to do. Okay, so do 32A and 32E and then turn those into me. And I look forward to giving you your feedback. All right, I'm going to hit the button.